Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Rumble is going. Twitter is going. YouTube is going. Twitch is going. Looks like everything's booted on up. Okay, Rumble is going. Looks like everything's going good. Give me another moment to check my other computer, make sure live streams go up there. It looks like everything's going good there. Oh yeah, I need to open my little notepad of all the replays I like to cast. And got a handful here, so let's go get started. And here we go. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. On the south side as the Green Lee, we got Dan Nobilo, I think. I have no idea. On the north side as the Red Banner, we got, or Brenner, we got Lord of Cold. When it comes to COs, Brenner is, of course, nerfed from the Karsh counterpart. He only has one CO zone expansion. Additionally, a CO zone only affects direct units, giving plus 10% offense, plus 30% defense. Still retains the 3 healing when popping his power. Lee is, of course, also known as Gelder from the Valkyria Chronicles, because that is his model there. It's actually a 3D game, very good game series, the Valkyria Chronicles. You can buy 1 and 4 off of Steam. You don't have to worry about 2 and 3. He does have standard boarding cost, CO zone expansion, and energy. He does have plus 10 plus standard benefits, but also all units within the CO zone, all units that start out within a CO zone, gets plus 1 movement range. And of course, it does apply this globally, but it is 2 movement range. Either way, let's go and get started. I'm going to turn on autoplay. While that's going, I'll talk about the map. It appears to be a 3-base map, Fog of War. We do also have airport in the corners as well. And we do also got a bit of plasma here. Apparently in the NOC cartridge is called Super Plasma rather than just called Plasma. I don't know if that makes any difference, but it's the case. Both players do have a gunboat in the HQ just to make sure, give a little extra durability so nobody does a sneaky cap. But there's also a comm tower near the HQs as well. And it looks like Green is going straight for the comm tower and to the center property. So we do got a variation of capture orders. Green's being aggressive into the center. And the thing is, when it comes to Lee or Gelder, he can be loaded up in pretty much any CO unit. Since it's more about mobility, the superpower is not critical because plus 2 range is nice. But plus 1 movement range is generally just enough, it feels like. Brenner will probably load himself up into a tank or a recon, perhaps a bike. Do have a recon there. And there is a CO now loaded up inside the bike. He can place the CO unit in a position that will help boost infantry units forward. Infantry do take 2 tiles to go across two movement to go across a mountain. So inside the CO zone, they can cross 2 mountain tiles. You can see here, this infantry will go 1, 2, 3, 4. These are shores or beaches. They're quite nice. Perfect time to go out the family. There's a city there. That's where you should keep your family, I guess. And this infantry unit should be able to range that HQ. But decides not to. He's ranging to the center of the map. Recon here, good number of infantry. Right now, Lee has about 10,000 income. Brenner is increasing, start of turn of 11, now at 12 or 13. It should get 14. There's actually a decent number of forests in this map. Remember as well, Days of Ruin, Forest provides 3 defense stars, while cities provide 2. A little bit inverse there from previous games. So forests are the defensive terrain. So are cities, but which call supply and resupply. Does get trapped. And does CO inside the tank there. Recon unit decides not to be engaged, and that may have been completely out of vision range. Oh, we got an early flare there. Flares are disturbingly powerful. Oh, there's actually 2 flares. Flares are just disturbingly powerful. I have no idea why, but flares are obscenely good in combat. Significantly better than the recon. I have no idea why. And we do have a battle copter down south, plus a recon and more infantry. Takes out that infantry unit there, gives him 7 free energy. Lee has 10. Yeah, a lot of energy there. HQ not under any threat due to the fact there's a gunboat there, but the tank can start picking away at it. Battlecopter heading up north. I don't know why. It seems like the first moon of a certain each unit type never plays a sound. I don't know why. It's just a weird bug. Try and flip the property. Do a flip. Sorry, whenever I hear the word flip, I think of Bender. Do a flip! Battlecopter on top left. I humor myself too much. And decides to sack that unit there. Does interrupt the capture. That could be worth it. All depends if we can fully stop it. But it's also a flip, so he really wants to stop it. Trying to flip that one. Flare in the region. Battlecopter as well. There's going to be a great engagement right here by Lee. Battlecopter hit the tank, and Flare to hit the cap squad. Anti-air artillery tank. A lot of assets there. Great strike there. Another battlecopter interrupts the bike. Does not stop the capture there, and Flare does a good strike there. Oh, I just realized there's a path there. The 2 shores threw me off, but there is in fact a path there. Good shot there. The thing about shores in Days of Ruin compared to regular Advanced Wars, they do have the same mobility as planes, rather than as cities or roads. So wheeled vehicles still move just as poor on them as well as in planes. Couple good kills there. Right now Lee has 85,000, Brenner has 79,000 fuel. Of course, still the day-to-day. Interrupts the flip. I think it's a good striker there on the flare. Brenner's making some great headway. He's at 50 out of 60 energy. But the thing is, the global healing is a bit situational. You have wounded units to be healed up. No? Then don't pop it. So you want the global zone, the CO zone to become global. Well, it's about to flare in the city. As long as it's alive, it gets the fire off the flares. Good strikes there. Tank needs to stay out of that region. Nothing much you can do with the battlecopter. Bikes push way forward. Anti-air, battlecopter, bike. Flare does get hit. Does get gunned down there. And we do have Brenner's superpower available, and he does have now the CO Zone expansion. Additionally, his command tank is wounded, so he can heal himself up, perhaps go fall back to the city, heal himself up, but then he get day-to-day healing, put him back up to max health. And as some wounded units make use of that global ability, we actually may see a Brenner power to be utilized for healing. Pops it right there. So he pops the end of turn, which will give him plus 20 or 30% defense global, which is actually very powerful in between turns, as well as heal up a lot of these units. So it's going to be hard for Lee to push forward the extra defense. While he is doing quite well, he almost has his own superpower available, which it is on a bike. It's not critical for a bike to make its turn. So he gives himself plus 2 movement range globally. He's at 92,000 on the field versus 106. Of course, it's day to day, so they're roughly pretty even. I feel like Burn is overall in a better position. Great artillery strike there. Takes out the tank. Lots of good hits there. A lot of good kills. 21 units versus 25. Takes out the battle copter there. Will he activate his power? Looks like he won't. It's great strikes there. Anti-air push right forward, takes out one of the battle copters. I'm curious something. If we're 2 movement range, could have ranged the battle copter if the tank was out of the way. Another tank, very nice. And with the superpower, it can project upwards and hit that. So I think he's setting himself up for a nice superpower next turn. Brenner's almost halfway to his superpower. Yes, now he's over halfway there. Great pick there. Takes the battlecopter. Infantry on top of a forest. Great strikes there. Gelders takes some hits there. I think he should pop his superpower next turn. Try to get some work done, and Brenner has a good amount of decent infantry units that are alive, just severely wounded. That's a good shot there. Looks like he's not popping a superpower this turn. Doesn't look like he really needs it. Gets trapped there and there. Having the tank trap like that is actually quite massive. Another tank. Battlecopter, another flare. Green's been liking his flares, that's for sure. Takes out that tank there. The plus 10% firepower, very useful. He has 111 on the field versus 96, and make that 135 versus 96, so a very big advantage there by Brenner. Pops the superpower there, charge way forward, gets a nice hit there, and since there's no CO zone to protect that one, much easier to take it out. Manages to creep his way to that battlecopter, gets a good strike on that capturing infantry. Many good hits there. 4 capture progress left, so 3 health. He has interrupt the capture once more. Merge there, trying to flip. It'll take a couple extra turns. And now with these units able to really push out his base quickly, he's able to get his second reinforcement up to the battlefield much more quickly. Good strike there. Puts around the command tank. He's almost has enough for his own superpower. And does finish off some wooden units there. So he probably will see the superpower this turn. Takes out that unit there. Try and get some damage on his own units before it pops the superpower. Or maybe just trying to save it till the next turn. Pops it there. Anti-air, battlecopter, artillery, infantry. 87,000 starts the turn with. Brenner ends the turn with 132, so Brenner still has a pretty sizable advantage. Good strike there. Medium tank, bike. Command tank straight forward at full health, gets good strikes on the flares, takes a good hits on the tanks. Battle Op is the only thing that can help engage these tanks. And there's an anti-air in the region. Overall, looks like Brenner's cleaning house on the left flank. Yeah, I think at this point it's game over. Brenner's made two good uses of his superpower, able to get some good healing. Not to mention, he did a good job of spreading his CO zone's defensive capability, preventing Lee from breaking through. It's sort of weird. Lee's CO zone, he has resigned. It seems so powerful, but yet I've never seen it to be extremely good. Just reasonable. It seems, on paper, it seems like it's amazing, but it's just reasonable, it seems like. Either way, this Angerade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Okay, scratch that one off the list. Next up is this one. Greetings everyone, Angerade here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Small on top left side as the red, what's his name again? Gage. Have I actually cast a game of Gage? We have Red Flower. Small on bottom right side as the green beast. We got Yoshi Rider. Oh seriously, I haven't even cast a game of Gage? Either way, let's cover the COs. Beast, well, technically a custom CO, technically also not a custom CO. And the cartridge counterpart, he was literally a CO, had no powers. He was never in a mission where he got to go to CO zone, or has CO. He has no CO zone, no CO power in the cartridge counterpart. So he's technically custom CO, while also not. Like Waylon, they're actually equal. Boarding cost 53, 30, 60, 60. And this is a little bit quite intensive of a description. He gets a plus 10% offense defense for all units. All specialty units defined as infantry, mechs, bikes, recons, and flares. So infantry units and other very early light units gets plus 20% offense. Specialty units, after completing action in the enemy property inside your zone that doesn't have the no incomes as Admiral allows, plunders it for whatever daily incomes it yields. In this case, 1,000 income. That property will have no income state for one turn. The property won't give income next. Basically, you steal your opponent's income if you wait, and the specialty units, as such as these, end their turn on an enemy property, you steal that next turn's income. He also has both a power and superpower. Gets the standard specialty units. Also get the Lin effect for those specialty units, and of course, they're able to plunder globally. And additionally, alternative, they do cost the same CO power, 60 and 60. All units, of course, get that. Specialty units get that. And you steal triple income, and you steal the next 3 turns income from any property. So you can have your specialty units wait on your own properties for additional income. Or you can wait on a neutral property, steal that property's in turn for 3 income, or your opponent's property to steal your opponent's income. It also pays forward, so if you wait units on your own properties, you get the 3 turns income immediately, so you can perhaps squeeze out something a little bit more heavier, such as a bomber. Gage is buff the Karshik counterpart. He has 50 to 30, 60, 60. Let's see, I always forget exactly what he does. I got the standard +10/+10. Ground and Navy units in CO zone get +10% defense. That's the different part. While indirect units get additional 20% offense. So all ground and Navy units in the CO zone get 10 defense. Indirect units get 20% offense. The CO unit itself gets +20% offense regardless what type it is. Wait. No? It gets +20% offense with, and if it's an indirect unit, gets additional 20% offense. So if CO units say load up an artillery piece, we'll get in total +50% firepower if I'm adding this all up. Because you get the standard +10/+10. This compounds with ground units get +10% defense, which also includes indirect units +20% offense. So a indirect artillery piece will get +50 or +40, +50. For us to make that all global, and indirect units get +2 max range. I don't think I've ever cast a replay yet with Gage, so this should be quite fun. I'm just gonna move this text document window there. Just move right there, and let's get started. This map is a triple base map with an airport in the middle, so very close distance for airports. More infantry units there. This is going to be just pretty much infantry this early game. There's a decent number of roads in this map, but also a decent number of mountains, so bikes may not be a possibility, but for all the mountains, suggesting me artillery is a bit more feasible. And the distance, you got the roads going to some initial properties as well, so anti-tanks seem actually a bit more of a possibility, so this map feels pretty good for Jake, or not Jake, Gage. Guess I have to wait and see. This also seems like a decent map for mechs with all the mountains. These mountain bikes by the Beast. And now Ducat Gage artillery piece. I'm not surprised. He's the indirect specialist. He may CO himself in there, but still maybe a little bit reliable to do that inside a simple tank. But guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to think. Cities, of course, provide hiding, while Wastelands does not. So I think that's forest, these cities. This would be a good set of spots. Oh, he's pushing it down over here. All right. Get a recon, another artillery piece over here. So he's setting up artillery. Remember as well, Beast has flares as a specialty unit, so COing himself into a flare is not a bad idea. Does blow out a tank. Double anti-air deployed out by Gage. That's interesting. I guess he's expecting a battlecopter relatively soon. Flare has been fired. CO's inside the tank there. Gets a quick little bit of power charge. Tanks do spot 3 vision range, so we'll be able to spot the threat of artillery piece, barring in fact if it's in hiding. So the artillery piece can't creep forward into a position to take on the tank. Does get trapped there. And trapped there. The bike can get a good shot there. He may send two. This bike's out of range. This bike will probably be sent into the artillery piece. Gets a good strike there. Good spotting for the flare. Does throw some machine gun rounds there. Tank, infantry, anti-air, and another tank. Get some decent strikes there. Gage has not sealed himself into any unit just yet. He still gets plus from on offense, so he's not a bad idea to throw him in Battlecopter. Unlike in previous Advance Wars, all the COs don't have downsides, they only have upsides. Good strike there. Got a tank in reserve as well. I wonder if he realizes spotted pushing forward. Forces have the artillery and battlecopter region. Takes out that unit there. Over here, it does get some good strikes. We do have a nice little mech there. Battlecopter heading down south. Gets a good shot there on the infantry unit. Artillery piece. Battlecopter does go down. Tank goes down, or not tank, artillery piece. The battlecopter is in range. The AT are way down south. And of course, the beast does have plenty of flares in the field. Good strike there. Mech push way forward. Try to flip that property. Good strike onto the tank. A missile? What? It's incredibly difficult for missiles to make any usage, even if it's gauge. I suppose +2 range on a missile can be quite obscene, but you have to rely on superpower for that. And he only has a 2 radius CO zone, which is actually not as... It really does reduce flexibility. The beast making great headway on the right side of the map. Good strike there by the artillery piece. Anti-air gets good strike on the infantry unit. Takes out that unit there. Recon falls back. Artillery piece may rotate over here. Missile probably should try sticking inside this woods or maybe on top of the city. Remember as well, something I want to point out as well, missiles do have 6 range rather than 5 range in Days of Ruin. A lot of good kills over there. Beast has 51 energy, which he could try stealing a whole lot of income from his opponent. Battlecopter, artillery, bike. Missile, push further forward. Not trying to stay hidden overall. Takes, oh, does not take out the battlecopter there. Managed to survive it. Good strike there. The beast now has a superpower available, but won't be able to cast until next turn. If he does decide to choose it, does get trapped on a artillery piece. And the missile's out of vision range. The missile actually will get a kill. You can fall back with the command tank a little bit to get 10 free energy there, which may be a good idea. Energy is very important for Gage. Let's see what he does. He does not worry about getting energy. A lot of good kills there. Get a good strike there. And overall, if the tank does not push forward, I think he should have pulled back there, just get a lot more energy. After all, he did miss out on a decent amount of energy there. Meme tank there. Does get trapped. Gage has quite a bit of presence on there. There are two bases on this side. There's only one on this side. He has gotten a anti-tank to help stabilize the region. Takes the battle copter there. Does not see the missile. Goes in the range of the missile again. At least in this case, the beast does not see the missile. Unlike the last game, it was Mangs versus PP Popo, where Mangs just threw like 10 aircraft into a missile. So the missile has now paid for itself. It has scored 2 kills. Missiles cost what, 1,200 or 12,000? Each battle cost costs 9,000, so the missile's paid for itself. I love seeing stuff that doesn't usually pop up gets usage of. Medium tank there. A beast does still have superpower available. He's loaded up in the back of this tank. Does get trapped up there. Looks like he's not going to be popping superpower. He would have done it by now. Battlecopter hits Battlecopter. He still has not seen the missile, which means the missile will get another strike. It'd be a fully vetted missile. How is this missile working? It's on a bridge as well. It shouldn't be working, but it is. It's almost out of ammo, because apparently missiles only carry 5 ammo. Even though there's 4 tubes. Does get trapped there. There is a medium tank in the region. Battlecopter pushed down south. There may be another battlecopter that gets sent on in. And Gage almost has a superpower. In fact, if he gets a superpower, then the missile could gain +2 range would be quite significant. Another tank over there. Let's see, will Beast pop a superpower this turn? He could get triple income on this property. Don't think he's going to displace the anti-tank this turn. And triple income there, so he could get 6,000 additional funds. May want to interrupt this. No, I'm going to do turn by turn. I think I should. Hey, pops the vision power. He pops the power around the superpower. You can see with a C. If it's superpower, it'll show an S. This is a C. So it does go with the vision, which actually doesn't see. Oh yeah, specialty units get the advanced vision, so he doesn't see the stuff until he has a specialty in this region, which he simply does not have. Of course, does have global ceiling, so he does steal 2,000 funds to his opponent at least. You can see here he's at 18,000 versus 18. He has 120 on the field versus 92. Beast still has a very powerful force up there and does get some excellent shots there onto the anti-tank. Okay, the battlecopter is out of range of the missile, so you can take time, maybe push forward or push backwards. The chance of it getting 2 more kills is unlikely, so I don't think he has to worry about getting ammo. If it somehow needs ammo, it's done very good work. Good strikes there. Lots of good strikes. Interrupts the capture. Gets a good kill there. Mech gets a good strike there. Interrupts that capture as well. Artillery anti-air bike. You can see the income went back up after the no income status has subsided. Command tank is good strike there, so gets 10 easy energy. Getting a lot of good amount of energy there. And the missile is in range. Anti-tank there to stabilize the region. Anti-tank does go down. Oops. I keep on trying to... I don't know why my hand gets a little bit heavy sometimes. I just hit right click. And he does have a superpower available. The command tank is... I don't think he should pop a superpower this turn. He popped a superpower this turn. You can see here the S for superpower. Oh, got a increased range strike there. Oh, gets trapped by that. I don't know why. I thought I was spotted there. Guess not. Of course, he does get a lot of decent global benefits as well. Takes out a lot of underlying units there. He stabilizes the region. He's actually pulled ahead in this region. That's also pretty good presence down south. And the missile takes out a 4th battle copter. Oh, and lose that infantry unit there. Of course, we've got the anti-tank here, which can be pushed forward on one, perhaps on the... Just probably have to be on the roads. Takes out the artillery piece there. Makes some good headway. Back. And looks like green has resigned. Excellent missile play. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I love it when seeing a missile actually works. Greetings everyone, and great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. On top left side as the green Lee, we got Danubilo, I think. Small on bottom right side as the blue Petty, we got Yukikaze. Lee, also known as Gelder, as in the profile picture from the Valkyria Chronicles, is a custom seal. He has standard boarding 3 zone 30, 60, 60. Oh, that's pretty much standard. He gets plus 10 offense defense, the standard defense increases, but also all units that start in the CO zone gets plus 1 movement range. This is the core of his power. His superpower gets him plus 2 range. Penny is buffed from the cartridge counterpart, has the standard 53, 30, 60, 60. All units are unaffected by weather, and instead of being the plus 10, she gets plus 15, plus 15. And of course, her CO power does add 3 random weather for 3 turns, and of course make that plus 15% global. Either way, let's get started. This map is a 3 base map with a airport and a initial aircraft carrier, so do note there's quite a bit of inflated value here. Both players start out with a gunboat, and looks like green immediately pulls gunboat off of the HQ to get a bit of a boost there. I'm pretty sure the aircraft carrier here is just in case if someone wants to pull out seaplanes. Seaplanes are actually quite nice. I think there is room for people to use seaplanes. I sort of theorize that maybe a seaplane from Tabitha, CO it on top of the HQ, could be quite nice. It'd be a very powerful joint strike fighter. But that's just theory though. I think of the seaplane concept on this map is mostly useful for COs who really try to focus on their CO unit to do work. So I think Grot and Tabitha would be the best units for the seaplane CO. And it looks like Penny does get trapped. There's also Calm Town in the corners. Looks like Tabata, not Tabata, Penny will capture this one. Gelder just going for more infantry. Penny has pulled out a bike. And she may get both Calm Towers. Gelder went straight for the central cities. So he's trying to get as much income rather than firepower at the moment. That CO unit pushed the infantry even further. So you may have a plan with a CO unit pushing units faster. It would take both these units to interrupt the capture of the Calm Tower, since it would take one to spot, one to interrupt. Mr. Bear has advised Penny to go for more bikes, and there is Penny loaded up the sidecar of the bike. She can't drive, she's too young. I'm assuming she can't drive. Mr. Bear may be able to drive. And it looks like Penny will get both Calm Towers, giving her +10/+10 global firepower and defense. And we got multiple mechs. Oh, that's whoa. I'm gonna slow down the pause the game for a moment. Look at this. Mech. All being boosted by CO zones, so these mechs do have the same movement speed as infantry unit. So the mechs could follow this infantry unit to glory in combat. It's interesting. I love seeing the movement CO being used as a movement CO. Artillery piece and infantry. Good damage there. Penny should probably just keep this infantry unit there, just to hold out the Calm Tower as long as she can. Maybe push forward a Tink over here to assert dominance. Getting some strikes there. Right now, Penny has 16,000. Gelder has 17,000. Tank moving over there. Artillery piece heading up north. Bog's gonna try to protect the Calm Tower of the artillery. Next push forward does a good strike on the infantry unit. Infantry unit does go down. Good strikes on the command bike. Right now, 26 energy. Mr. Bear is not halfway to get the superpower just yet. But there should be additional power charge this turn with the nearby infantry units. And there's a lot of extra power charge there at 37 energy. Command bike falls back. Gets even more energy there at 44. And thing is, well, Penny, she is... I don't know why. It feels like she's an A to S tier CO. She may not seem like much, but that weather is devastating. Because it's 3 turns of effectively having superpower active. Your opponent's either blind, which can be circumnavigated with flares. In fact, believe not, rain on the Fog of War maps are less effective because people are already fighting around Fog of War with flares primarily. The flares are only really the way to counter out the rain. And when it comes to snow, slowing down of movement range is very nice, especially versus Gelder, who provides +1 movement range. You can see the mech play that Gelder's going for, but having -1 movement range on those mechs to counter out that would actually be quite devastating. And of course, Sandstorm -30% offense for 3 turns is actually obscene as well. Got a battlecopter tank. She almost has a CO power. Only thing that's in her CO zone that could get more damage onto is this tank. There's nothing to do that, so she won't get her CO power this turn. Good strikes on the left flank, that's for sure. She now has extra CO power, but won't be deployed this turn. Her CO command bike has already moved. Battlecopter heading up north. Good strikes there. Takes out a lot of outlying units. And Penny should pop her weather immediately. It's only a bike, so it's not critical to fight with. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. And here comes the superpower. And as snow, that will reduce all of his opponent's movement range by 1. This mech is now going to have more normal movement range. You can see here the infantry now has mech movement range. This mech, you can see here, can only move 1 tile. Oof. Move on to that city and do nothing else. And look at all the mechs, and hardly anything's moving. This snow is going to cripple him. This snow is probably the worst weather right now for Delta to have. Because this mech play is going to come to a half time as rather than a double time. The command bike does go down. Minor victory at this point. She could even steer herself inside the gunboat in order to get the aura effects up here. Probably a horrible idea if I don't do that, but maybe we could just see inside this battlecopter or the anti-air. The anti-air wouldn't be half bad around all these mechs to be sealed into. And the mechs are doing some work there. Does seal into the anti-air. Gets immediately a first strike there. Gets trapped. Artillery takes that one out as well. Lots of good strikes up north. Tank, infantry. Anti-air gonna be safe enough. Mech is a decent strike there. Takes on the battlecopter. Tank does take a hit. At 39 energy, she almost has enough for another CO power. I think it's well when it comes to Penny. She can just keep making the weather roll or storm. Artillery gets a good strike there at 49 energy. She's going to get enough energy for a CO power this turn, but wait and deploy out to the next turn. She does not need to deploy out this turn. Good strike there. Nice little recon pass. Penny right now has 150,000 plus her day-to-day. Gelder has 106. 138 versus 106. That's quite significant. Get a good strike there. Many good strikes. Mech gets a good shot there. And the weather should clear up next turn, and then will be no longer clear next turn. T-copter there. Mech, tank. I don't know if the mech play is good. What weather she's going to get this turn? Sandstorm. So now everything his opponents deploys in the field has 30% less firepower. Plus her units get plus 15 this turn as well. Which means there's going to be 45% power difference this turn. It's actually very obscene. Battlecopter, bike, anti-air, and tank. Got a artillery, battlecopter, command infantry units still. Geldor almost has a superpower, which could be useful. Very useful to mechs, that's for sure. Plus 2 range onto them. And plus giving them a little extra firepower and defense is always quite nice, especially when dealing with the sandstorm. Bike down here. Bike, battlecopter, tank, and another bike. Good strike onto the battlecopter. Good strike on the artillery piece. The minus 30% firepower is horrible. I mean, right now this tank has, even though it's efficiency 1, oh yeah, Penny has both comm towers. Oh, this is not going great. Now there's a 45% firepower that one turn. There's also was the comm towers was plus. It's obscene. The lack of 80 comm towers are horrible. Yep, some tiny wars today. And this Geldor is just falling apart to Penny. I'm just going to say that for sure. the sandstorm plus double comm tower. 35% firepower difference between the two players. Penny almost has enough for another superpower. Though not too many targets for in our range or radius of the super of our CO zone for getting another superpower. Geldor maybe will pop out a superpower this turn. Just needs 7 more damage. Will this mech be able to get it? Deals 32, so that would deal 3 damage. Sandstorm. This tank is on planes, has plus 35% defense at the moment. The mech has minus 20% attack. Oh god. Okay, Geldor does have access to superpower. I don't know if there's anything that can really be... And this goes into design. Oh. Penny just had a really good grasp of the game. This and great, say anything watching, and on to the next replay. Nope, wrong button. Copy. Here we go. And let's get started. Greetings everyone, and great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn. Oh wait. Oh great, it's one of these maps. Green. Okay, spawn on the left side of the gray HQ as the gray Cyrus, not Cyrus, Cass. We got 1 Omega 1. Spawn on the right side as the green Isabella. We got 4 green circles. Here's the thing I've just realized about this map. You got a weighted infantry unit here and unweighted here. So we got base, 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 and base. It's a triangle of bases, while this is base. Oh, this is going to get messy real quick. And, okay, there's an airport up here as well. I have no idea how this game's going to go. Isabella is, of course, nerfed from the Carja counterpart, has 52, 30, 60, 60. All units get plus 10% offense and 10% defense. And all during a superpower, all units get plus 2 movement range, while indirect units only get plus 1 max range rather than plus 2. While Cass is a custom CO using a IDF soldier model does have 52, 30, 60, 60. She is the veterancy CO. All units get plus 20% offense, defense as well, and all units in the CO zone get a 1 additional level of promotion when destroying a unit. So they go from Vet 0 to Vet 2 or Vet 1 to Max Vet. Of course, as makes that global, all units get that effect global, and all units get immediately 1 level promotion immediately. So everything you get at least Veterancy 1, and to make it kill, they'll get at least the Max Vet on that same turn. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's something. Yeah, the chat on the left side. What? Move it right there. Sorry. Just realized the chat there, and let's go and get started. Oh yeah, the music. Infantry bike. I guess. Oh yeah, both players serve a city as well in the map, so you can get a bike out pretty quickly or immediately. It looks like Cass only went for double infantry. Both players are forced to flip the property immediately. Not like capturing a temporary port is a good idea at right now. There's a couple neutral, 4 neutral airports on this map. And I'm going to have trouble keeping attention of where everybody's focusing. So this may not go too well since it's a triangle of locations for both players. What was the one's like a split and like a plus sort of symbol? Caustic Fine Finale? This one is even worse version of that. See, one base here, this looks like a weak part with no airport or just a single base here. So this area can easily get overran, but it's mounted there surrounded by rivers. So maybe artillery piece here could be useful to help defend itself or anti-tank. So this ways to stall out with a decent amount of terrain there. Of course, your airport is also split between the two, that said base as well. So these two bases could try to focus on the airport, which may be a little bit more difficult. While these two bases can focus on this one here as well. Of course, you can try squeezing onto the HQ. That's probably not going to be very feasible, though. I have no idea how to really commentate on this map. We got a command tank here. Mech there, mech and infantry. I suppose the mountain next to the base, mechs can make for an okay defensive tool. Good strike there. Tank up here to engage the command tank. She could seal herself in this command tank, get a good strike in that command tank. Artillery lagging a little bit behind. And looks like that is the case. Members will force provides 3 defense stars. I did not see what she built. Cass does have a tank here. Recon gets a good, or bike gets a good strike there. Command tank falls back in protection of the artillery piece, and on top of running property gets repairs. Model mechs here looks like Gray is just trying to stall out, be cost effective down here. And any tank could be incredibly effective at stalling out. Couple pro flips there. There's that one. Right now, Kessel income 20,000. as well as 22. Pushing forward here. Command tank out of range. We also got a couple tanks here. Looks like a cast will be able to collapse on this region very, very quickly. Battlecopter here. Isabels won't be able to collapse around here all too easy with all the mechs nearby. Does get a good strike onto that mech, but mechs and bikes have similar cost. Well, technically one won't go to well with a counterattack. And we do have a base lock there. Mech can get a good strike on that tank there. Command tank is a good strike there. Tank is a good strike there at 17 energy. I probably should take time to do one turn at a time. Because right now, this mech is in range of that tank. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Tank manages to creep on in as well. And looks like the castle went up north. Also got the 1 health infantry blocking some issues. And also going to be able to range the base. So Cass has a very firm grasp up here. And even base locks the tank. It will not be able to escape out of there unless no 5 health infantry unit should be able to take out the mech. Good strikes there. Another mech down south of over here. Tank's good strike there. Takes out that unit. Capture that property. Interrupts the capture. Takes out that mech there. And the tank did base lock itself. Could have pushed right there. With the artillery piece range there, so this area is pretty much just lost. The mech play down here was a good call by Cass. And he is from range of the battlecopter, so that battlecopter has to get on out of there. Battlecopter, tank. Cass is only at 28 energy. Command tank could push forward, yep. Now provide some fire support, also get some energy there. 38 energy. Takes out that unit there, getting now to 43. And could probably send the 5 health infantry start blocking the base, unless she wants to keep open to temper her opponent. Did not start capturing that 1 health unit. Might as well. But the mech is now in range to start capturing the base next turn. Isabella has no solid grasp over here. Looks like Isabella's going to try to make a attack towards up here. A quick duster, or not so quick duster, would be a good way to prevent the airport from going down and hit the battlecopters. So yeah, I think going duster would be the way to go. Got a medium tank here. Motor properties now being flipped. Command tank may want to take a slow route along some cities to get repairs in the way. Looks like it will. Get some energy there at 53 energy. Very close to a CO power, and I don't think this command tank is going to go down anytime soon. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for the command tank to go down. Can't get this mounted there. We'll have to probably focus these infantry units down to get another shot onto that tank, but we'll probably have to do it. Yeah, I don't see a way. No, that's actually maybe a way. Take this tank here. Put it right there. Take out that infantry unit. Like, put the 4 health one there. Fire tank here. Fire, that should take it out. Then infantry and tank can hit this one. The battlecopter can come over here and smash into the command tank. So the command tank can go down this turn. It looks like it will not go down this turn. It looks like Isabel's starting to get some good work done over here. But this anti-air could be repaired on up, but needs to get this infantry out of the way. Plus, if the anti-air engages the battlecopter, it will base lock itself. Maybe a fresh anti-air will be the answer then. Cass can deploy her units first to get the them at least one level of veterancy. Get some good strikes there. Anti-air is the call. Does go and trap that battlecopter with the command tank. That may not be the smartest idea. How much damage will this battlecopter do? 43 out of 60. Right now it's at 60 health in total. It's nice not to take out the command tank. Battlecopter tank. Good strikes there. Maybe anti-tank here would be a good idea. Decides not to pop CO power once again. Well, it feels like Cass is in a particularly strong position. Oh wait, there's a war tank. I took my eyes off the corner. Yeah, that's one way to prevent the point from being captured by the medium tank. Just while a war tank, just tack up even higher. And it will probably be a very good idea to pop the CO power next turn. Let the war tank score kill, get it max vet. And max vet war tank on top of a factory will probably be very difficult to deal with. Got an anti-tank down here as well as a battlecopter. And right now, even though Isabella has one less base, she does have higher income. So she can, in limited number of bases, go for higher quality units. Excuse me. Have we even seen a command vehicle by Isabella yet this game? Oh yes, there was a tank up here, but she has not redeployed another command vehicle. We may see command anti-tank. There are no battle cups here, that's for sure. Battlecopter, tank. Good strike there. Pops superpower now. So now she'll get double veterancy. And of course, a lot of our units are already pretty at max veterancy. War tank's now at max veterancy as well. Medium tank could have got a deploy on the field and then vetted, so we got some good reinforcements. Isabella starts the turn of 81,000, and Cass does end the turn of 108. So pretty big disparity right now. Good kills down here, trying to flip some properties, pull back some units, get some repairs. Takes on the anti-air. Battlecopter goes down. Artillery tank. The war tank scores another kill. And got the anti-tank creeping its way forward to deal with the war tank. How much is now the war tank is now being lured in to engage the anti-tank in close combat. How much does a max vet war tank will do to an anti-tank right now? Deal 48 damage, and only takes 20 damage return, that's worth it. Not like it's going to do much of anything else. And this wounded battlecopter can fall back to this temporary airport that's being captured, or this one that's being flipped. Tank there. Good strikes there. Does pick off the medium tank there. Got a good amount of artillery here, though in various health states. And here in the region as well, so I think one, maybe two of the battlecopters may go down here as well. This battlecopter's in range of this battlecopter. Picks up that one unit there. As well starts the turn of 90,000, cast into turn of 133. Need some decent hits there. And here does take a good strike. Tank does take that one out. Tank falls back. Now Isabella has pulled out her own war tank. Cass has started pulled ahead in income. You may see a CO loaded Isabella war tank. And Cass has now broken out of her containment down south. So a bike there will help capture the properties nearby. And it looks like Cass is also going to try to start pursuing towards the HQ here. I got a tank and battlecopter to engage it. They have a base skip there as well, so there needs to be ETR in the region at least. Good strikes there. Anti-air over here to engage that battlecopter. Artillery piece here does not seal the war tank. And looks like Isabella has resigned. This Android saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Let's see. And let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the left side as the Purple Judy, we've got Lionel Parks. Spawn on the right side as the Gray Calder, we've got McDonald's. I like the also large order of fries go along with that. We got Calder, he is nerfed from his cartridge counterpart, though he does not have the minus sign there. I think it's more close to a rework at this point in time. He has 50% boarding cost, only 2 CO zone radius, no expansion, no energy. All units gets plus 25% offense defense, rather than plus, was it 60 and 60? and also provides +2 healing rather than +5. Does cost your funds. And no power superpower. Judy is the... Oh, I think she got a little bit buff. I think her boarding cost was reduced. She is the salvage specialist. She has a 30% boarding cost and 3 CO zone radius, no expansion, no energy as well. So no powers nor superpowers this game, just day-to-days. All units in the CO zone get plus 20% offense, plus 10% defense, and you get 30% of the damage you dealt from your units. CO zone, you get funds equivalent to 30% damage you dealt as your funds in your CO zone. I think I also got slight buff. Well, I think it was 25%. Got slight buff there. A nice little discount here, so it's a bit more accessible to get that refunds or salvage. Either way, let's go and get started. This is what appears to be a 3-base map. Got the 3rd base up there, that's neutral. Airport down south on the mountainside. Comm towers in the corners as well. And this airport is actually pretty far off the beaten path, so take a bit of time to get there. Couple more infantry units now pulled in the field. I do like how the roads here make a bit of a target sign. Or aiming sign, I should say. Of course, Judy has now put out some bikes. Both of these COs don't have necessarily a CO power to charge up, so they can really be loaded up at any unit. Judy can probably load herself up into something cheap, maybe a recon, so she can drive around, does load herself into a bike, load herself up for cheap, and then try to go around to one battle, get some salvage, move herself up north to get some more salvage there. 30% off fun returns. So let's see if my offhand math is incorrect. That means it's 30 funds per 100. So infantry units will, if you take out a full infantry unit in a CO zone, 300, 450 per killed off infantry unit. That's nice. Do that 3 more times, you get almost enough for a free infantry unit. We have now a Carter tank that's probably gonna be CO'd. Actually, oh, mega CO'd on the HQ. Tank, infantry. I hear a lot of properties now being fully captured. Got 16 properties for just 10. Calder is actually being hyper aggressive. Look, the recon just spotted all these infantry units across and the center of the map. Those at the center of the map is this line here. And so Calder is already being hyper aggressive, trying to capture 2 properties there. Airport as well. So he's foregoing some early income to get the field control. This infantry could head down right there. This infantry unit could go right there. Sees a recon, so probably not put it next to the recon there. Command tank now pulling the field. So Calder's playing the aggressive play. Let's see if it pays out. Captain Properties help pay stuff out. You can see there, bit of salvage there, has 520 funds. Good strike there. And of course, these wounded infantry units will get repaired up a little bit, as saw there. Anti-air artillery and infantry. The bike may just need to run away at this point in time. Could push forward this tank, but out of range of the Calder command tank. Both players in 19,000 income. And we've got an APC by Judy. What? Calder's command tank is a good strike there. Takes out the bike. And takes out the recon there. Infantry does get a good hit there. Takes out that bike. And good shot there as well. So pretty big play there by Calder. Battlecopter, infantry. Airport now being captured on up by heading back down south. And looks like the APCs will be here for mech play. Of course, it's in the... Oh wait, no. Calder is the one who has mech in his name. Calder's command tank headed down south. Now there's some good salvage opportunity. And artillery piece here as well. Battlecopter heading over here. Gets a good strike from the infantry unit. Tank, anti-air, and artillery piece. And the command tank, or command bike did push forward there. Artillery piece won't get any free salvage. I wonder if there's any place where we can also affect the artillery walls providing coverage up here. Perhaps. Guess we'll not see. Takes out that tank there. Artillery piece gets a good shot there. Spots the capturing squad, interrupts it. Tank rotating around. Calder has a good amount of infantry here, but nothing to deal with two tanks, just as only his command tank, which is quite strong. Medium tank anti-air recon. Artillery gets a good strike there. Gets a good hit there on the infantry. Takes it out, as well as that one. Now the command tank, it does have protection of the artillery piece, so can't necessarily push too far forward. Tank. You got a couple artillery pieces out here with a battlecopter and a mech there. Getting a decent amount of salvage there. Of course, let's stay out of range of the artillery piece. Battlecopter, artillery, tank, and of course another bike. Calder could try focusing on this tank here, but looks like he's just trying to rotate up north. We do have a medium tank in the region, which could be very useful. Battlecopter, artillery, tank, and infantry. Recon, bike, a tank, and another battlecopter. Both players just getting out a good number of battlecopters field. Does get trapped there. Calder's command tank heading up north, which is in range of the medium tank. Just needs an opening, which is a little bit difficult. Has a lot of coverage there. May need to take out this infantry to get to this infantry to get to the command tank. And we do have a rocket deployed up by Calder. That's interesting. He already has an anti-tank up here, but it does use a medium tank to push forward. Tank, medium tank. So we got a lot of tanks centered by Judy. Calder does have a good amount of forces up north, but it's a little bit pressed up against the edge of the Earth. Take that, globe theorists. Oh, globe tards. Sorry. Rocket's trying to push the center. Could set itself up maybe on this forest here to help zone out things that's going to try to push up north. A lot of stuff is actually not spotted. I don't know how much Calder is aware of how much stuff is here, but there's actually still quite a bit there. Medium tank does fall back. Try and bring what reinforces up here. I think more battle costs would be generally good, but it's actually a good number of anti-airs as well. It's hard to say exactly. Maybe just more medium tanks would be a good idea. Tanks now streaming on over here, trying to break through. But we've got a healthy number of artillery pieces and a battlecopter as well. And all three of these artillery pieces are at full health. So they have a shooting gallery in front of them. A target-rich environment. Judy does have 161,000 in the field with plus for day-to-day as well. Good shot there. Tank moving around. Good hit there onto the recon. And Calder's now streams way forward. The HQ is down here, so you could capture up this entire region, but it'll be only just that. Rockets ready to engage everything that advances this region. Flare to help spot for it. Getting some good hits there. Artillery gets some good strikes. Takes out that tank there. Mech is good strike from the mountains. But it's just going to hit the stuff that's advancing in the open ground to protect this artillery piece, because right now tank's on the wrong side of the mountains. Tank, bike, tank, flare. Try and capture some properties. Judy could head straight towards HQ, try to capture it. Looks like she's starting to rotate around, hit over here. Good medium tank there. Good medium tank strike. Artillery piece here still hidden. Drops a mech off in the mountains, so that thing can get hit by a mech next turn. Get some good hits up here. Did put around the anti-airs, allowing more free reign for the battlecopters. She does have 28,000. She can deploy a full bomber. Bike, tank, and battlecopter. Takes out the battlecopter there. Medium tank does go down. Calder's breaking through over here. Takes out the anti-air as well. Maybe at this point in time, anti-tanks needed. Got multiple battlecopters here. In fact, there's only one anti in this region, so the battlecopter still can do some good work. Another battlecopter, anti-air, mech, and bike. Recon spots everything. Or pretty much everything. Spots triple battlecopter. That's important information to have at least. Does get some good strikes on these various artillery pieces. medium tank, anti-air bike, and another battlecopter. Carter's command tank's almost out of fuel. It's going to strike onto that medium tank. Medium tank does go down. Okay, so that infantry unit there. Flare interrupts the capture of the column tower. Column tower goes down. Takes out that recon. Good strike onto that tank. Try to flip some properties up here. Gets trapped by one health mech. Very nice. Rockets will make it down south. Bikes move around. Mech there. Battlecopter, tank, mech, bike. Good shot there. Many good hits there. Getting a lot of salvage with the passive. Well, the most amount I've ever salvage I've seen Judy ever get. She's now at 35,000. I think Bomber is the play. Goes for battlecopter, goes for a war tank, regular tank, and bike. War tank's probably also a good idea as well. Doesn't worry about the anti-airs as much. Don't have to worry about that anti-tank. Anti-tank. Battlecopters pull back. And mech and bike there. Okay, saw that mech there, getting more salvage. And no longer building that temporary airport. Another battlecopter, tank, recon, and infantry. Judy can hold off in this region, but both players are pushing pretty heavily over there. Also, Carter does have decent force here. Judy has a decent force as well. The rockets make some good headway, take out some of these units. And the command tank does fall back, has 14 fuel remaining. Interior infantry tank. Draver now has 25,000. Colorado's only 24,000 income. Good shot there. Calder has largely pulled back out of this region, trying to rotate around, maybe trying to hit this HQ. There's a good number of battlecopters here. The ones at 1 health. The temporary airport, if he would have finished that, could have been quite useful. Mini tank does go down there to the anti-air. Go strike on the artillery piece. Anti-air's in range, so one of these battlecopters will likely go down. Anti-tank moving over here. That could be a good spot to hide it. Well, looks like Calder's trying to rotate around, trying to head straight for the HQ now. Judy needs does have good enough battle copters over here, but we've got a decent amount of anti-air there. One's on top of a property as well, so that should be healed up no problem. Tank has not been refueled, so that's down to 8 fuel. Wooden battlecopter does fall back, starting to build temporary airport now. Does merge the two 1 health battlecopters, so it's now 2 health battlecopter. And purple, Judy's now pushing over here. Another battlecopter bike. Now Judy right now has 160,000, 19,000 bake. Calder has 167. So it's going back down to turn difference. Making some great headway there. Getting multiple good shots on in. Takes that unit there. Do not send that 1 health tank to fight. Or Rocket now is max veterancy. Battlecopters having 21 fuel, and now I've got a war tank over here as well. Judy's trying to fall back over here. Good shots onto the infantry unit. Calder looks like it's exceedingly in a good position, but Judy right now has... Actually, their field value is going to be very similar, isn't it? Yep, 189,000 versus 190. Takes out that unit there. And we've got a lot of indirects here, so if Magenta pushes forward, she will get ripped apart. Or purple, not magenta. And same difference in this case. Battlecopter recon APC there to refuel the couple units that are pretty low in fuel, so it's primarily the battlecopters likely. Temporary airport has been established there, and the battlecopter will go on top of it. Very nice. Mech artillery piece, a flare. Flare did fire down there. We do have the recon forward. Tank creeping around. We've got the infantry and the APC push way forward. Looks like Gray's trying to set up a front line over here. He has a lot of indirects. Purple does not have a whole lot here for defense, but has a in comparison opponent, but still has a good amount of forces here. They can be charged forward with all the indirects in the region. 80 tanks are getting pretty low in fuel, and now got a missile deployed in the field, which can lock down the airport. Just needs a spotter. mech ATR medium tank. Flare does fire there. Recon goes for a bit of a recon pass. Mech slow and push way forward. Right, just creeping his way forward at the moment. ATR. A lot of weights there, and now got another rocket infantry unit. Good strike there, and the anti-tank, who's also now getting pretty low on ammo. Looks like Purple's going to try to push forward up here. Of course, the anti-tank is supported by the Calder's command tank, so we'll get healed up next turn by 2. Good strikes there. I think those receive a pretty good hit. Another battlecopter, anti-air, bike, and a mech. Good shots there, making many good hits. Takes out another unit there. A lot of dead magenta units. Calder's command take push forward. Finish off that one unit there. Tank gets a good shot there. Rocket push forward. Good hit strike there on the tank. Takes out that tank. Medium tank down to 2 health. Only thing that's really staining is a couple battle cops in this war tank. War tank is out of range of what appears to be everything. You get some good strikes down there as well. Lots of losses there. Judy's now down to 160,000 versus 240. Massive losses there by Judy. Double flare tank. And Magenta does go ahead and resign there. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Before I get started next replay, I do need the restroom. Please give me one moment. My drink explodes. My apologies, I'm back. And replay list. Search. Clear this one out. Control V. I have enough in me for one more replay, so let's get started. Give me a moment to open up my drink. My allergies are starting to kick in. There we go. Let's see now. Let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the left side as the green Tabata, we got Yoshi Rider. Spawn on the right side as the red, I always forget to name this one, Zhao Ting Tong, we have a red flower. Zhao Ting Tong has a reduced boarding cost of minus 90%, so you get a 90% refund of the unit while loading a CO unit into there. Has no CO zone radius, no expansion, no energy, and it just gives you boarding cost is 90, which means the CO unit gets a refund of 90% of the production of the cost. Cannot board Navy units that's located on HQs. Oh, that could have been an X point. Did I say magenta or red? I'm sorry. Allergies are starting to kick on in. Let's see. And of course, Tabata, she's unchanged cartridge, very powerful. 50% boarding cost, 0 radius, 30, 60, 60. Her CO unit, and then eventually later on other units as CO zones start expanding, gets plus 60, plus 60 attack and defense. And of course, she has access to Sturm's Meteor as a superpower. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This is a Fog of War map. It is 2 base, 1 airport, and potentially 2 seaports. Not like you won't be able to utilize both seaports. There are comm towers in the top and bottom part of the map, as well as radar stations. Radar stations do provide funding and 3 stars defense stars. And seeing there across bridges, that could be a pretty good hard point there as well. Both players do start with a lander and gunboat. Bike and the port has been captured, pushing the infantry unit back there. They actually a decent amount of water terrain as well. We've got a lot of rough seas, which I always have to be reminded, it's been a while. Makes naval units have 2 movement cost. And of course, there are also the Mist on Sea tile, which I think is unique to Tiny Wars, which is a hiding spot for sea, which provides 1 defense star. Rough Seas does provide 2 defense stars. Gunboat does prop off a unit there. We do have our artillery piece up there. Polygon set up on this ruins there to provide some protection in this region. Recon and bike there. We got a transport copter. There is actually a decent number of cities in the corners for cities, so it's a good idea to actually get the transport copter, get them. Copter has loaded herself up to a command tank. Now I think that tank has more firepower and defense as a medium tank. Costs probably a little bit more as well. Let's see. Miss on Sea was on cartridge. Tiny Wars changed it, was letting you put on land too. Got it. It's been a while since I last picked up my Nintendo DS. Good strike there. Takes out that recon. Getting Tabata's 10 energy. Her CO zone and power, it follows a bit of a trend. Initially, she's a duelist and or a sniper or assassin, which it's her job to get her own CO charge generated. But when she gets +1 CO zone, she becomes a bit more of a wall break. So there's a wall, she can smash into it. Then with a 1 extra CO zone radius, then a couple other units can pop on, push forward with her as well, to smash through the wall as well. And then if there's anything left the wall, you can nuke it with a meteor or firestorm rocket. We got an anti-air up here. No battlecopters deployed on the field just yet, just T-copters. Oh, you can get a gunboat across because that's all bridges there. I keep completely glazed over that. Flare artillery. Oh. Thank you for the YouTube subscription. Welcome to the channel. I still don't have notifications to figure out who is what on a list of feed, because YouTube subscription for me, it could be on any video or even just a channel itself, so pops up. In fact, if I have OBS still open, even though there's no live stream going, I can still hear those sound effects, which really creeps me out, wondering if I had live streaming me just doing something stupid like playing some Planetfall. Got double artillery down south here versus a single recon. Good strike there, takes out that anti-air with the artillery in the on the forest and on the waist on the ruins. There's a lot of good defensive capability on the flanks. So battleships are probably the name of the game. We may see a Mao Zedong. He gets a 90% refund on boarding units, so he's going to load up a CO unit into the battleship to get 90% refund in the battleship. Oh, plus it also puts a max veterancy status. It does CO the battleship as well. Nice, 46,000 in the bank. He can go for a second battleship and a bomber. Oh, he is going to do a double base skip, but that's fine. Tabitha does have one CO zone expansion now, so she's in a pretty good state, but her tank is quite wounded, so she may need to fall, get repaired, and maybe join the best. Does have to fall back entirely with her. She wants to keep her CO power, because the Firestorm's one way to stop the battleships. We got... Green does spot the one, the artillery piece doesn't spot the other one. If the bike scouts out the forest, the artillery piece could get a good strike there. Battleship's now bombarding their bomber, takes out the anti-air. Got another anti-air in range of the bomb. Oh wait, no. It's not in... Oh wait. Yes, it is in range. Does get trapped there, and there's the artillery. Oh yeah. I mentioned that there's the waste of the ruins and the forest there, but there's also the city there, so there's a lot of defensive terrain. Tabata needs to get something to counter out these ships. Interior gets a good strike there, so pretty good value there. We do have a cruise on the field to take out that battlecopter. Does get trapped there. Takes it out. Just a flare in the region. And Tabata goes for her own bomber. Bomber heads down south for the winter. Battleship falls back to the seaport. I think some of battleships should stay in the front line and start bombarding everything. Probably capturing this temporary port should be pretty useful for the bomber, though. Tabata has captured a temporary airport. Oh, like I said, there was the wall break there. She's at 58 energy. If Red needs to pull back away from the CO zone, because she can't cast the... She needs a little more energy, and she can only get that by not moving her tank. So pulling back from the tank would prevent the superpower from being launched next turn. That artillery piece has to pull back. If not, it's going to get killed off either way. And a firestorm would be devastating, would knock out those ships. But it decided to go after the command tank. It's not going to go down. That was a drastic mistake. Now she can have the battlecopter hit the artillery piece and then pull back the command tank and bring in the firestorm. This was a critically bad mistake, I would say. There we go. Probably won't strike off a bit of spotting. Bring in the firestorm. right there. Huh. Did not hit this battleship? Let's go back a little bit. It landed right there. It did not target the battleship. Huh. I would assume landing right here would be the biggest value spot. Did it bug out? Oh! The AI, I don't know, Firestorms, how do they work? Do they go for HP rather than value? Because that would be an HP. It must be exactly like Sturm's Meteor. It's probably there has a random effect. Go for, has a chance going for HP, has a chance to go for value, and probably has a chance to go for indirects. So she must have rolled a HP Firestorm if it's exactly the same as a Sturm Meteor. Von Bolt always does value. But still, that's a pretty good strike there. Knocks out a battleship. And plus now she has plus 60 global. Goes for a fighter. Really wants to make sure the battleship does not go down. Looks like the Duster is in range of the bomber, but may have trouble doing damage to it with the plus 60% defense. Yeah, 2 damage. She can fall back to the temporary port and get that healed up no problem. She just wants to get away from the Duster. APC now pulling in the field. Battlecopter takes the battlecopter. Bomber decides to fall back in presence. We do have a Talbota battleship now on the field. Good strike on the anti-air. Takes out that tank there. And there's an anti-air in the woods ready to take out that Duster. Cruiser does finish off that wounded battlecopter, and here gets a good strike there onto that battlecopter as well. Talbot has no energy in her CO zone. Her command tank will be up to 9 health, which should be good enough. We got a missile here. Alright, flip some properties. Good strike there. Does not spot the missile, of course. Battleship gets a good strike there on the cruiser, which the bomber may charge for to sink the cruiser. How much did bombers do versus cruisers again? Reasonable. They were definitely... Cruisers were heavily buffed. They made Navy a bit more fun in Days of Ruin compared to all the advanced wars. Gets a good strike there onto the artillery piece, and that bomber made a relatively weird sound, maybe because of the fighter and the bomber sound effect, I don't know. Gunboats gets a good strike there on the battleship. Of course, gunboats have only 1 ammo, but definitely pretty much worth it to strike that battleship like that. Does interrupt the capture there. Talbot did not push forward with a command tank last turn. Helicopter does fall back. It's a good strike there. Does not finish off the unit there. Takes out the bike, no problem. But she's going to receive fire from the bomber and the battleship. Sub deployed in the field. And gets trapped on the flare. That was a mistake. I wonder how much damage a 2 health Duster can do to a fighter. If it just gets 1 point damage, it'd probably be worth it. Yeah, probably not worth it. But again, that Duster needs to fall back to that temporary port. But looks like the bomber is making his way over there now. Good strike there on the fighter. Artillery piece push forward. So looks like what was his name again? Zhao Teitong. Make some good progress up north. Right now he has a value of 106 in the field versus top has 140, so she is falling a little bit behind. Submarine gets a good shot onto the battleship. Bomber pushes his way forward. Now we got a dust up on field, and this lander is getting pretty low in fuel. Gotta be careful of that. Does spot the command tank there, but the command tank won't be able to get anything. Everything's hidden. We'll need a spotter down south. Alright, put some properties there. Good strike there. Fighter is doing what it can before going down. Duster push way forward. Bomber is a good strike on that mech. Throws him relative to the rig, so won't be able to pull his temporary report this turn. Tank there. Double artillery presence on the map, and the command tank just waits down south. Looks like Talbot is just relegating her command unit just to camp down south, prevent any sort of advance. Oh, and the T-copter gets trapped on the sub there, which allowed the cruiser to get a good shot. Was that a good thing? That may be actually a good thing, allowing the sub to be knocked out, pretty much. Artillery falls back, takes up both those battle copters, gets trapped there on the artillery piece. Lots of good kills there. Temporary airport will be built next turn if he chooses. And those the command tank stays right there. And gets trapped again. Is that a good thing? I think it is. It's not like it's loaded with anything. Takes out the unit trying to flip the radar. Another anti-air deployed on the field. Command tank does get spotted and bombed. And gets them down, so looks like Tablet's command tank will go down next turn. And Tablet's bomber is surrounded as well. The artillery piece will break it out. And my apologies, everyone. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. my apologies everyone, I'm back. Let's see, what was I doing again? ATR push way forward. T-copter move around, battlecopter falls back, artillery piece went back to the comm tower. Gets a good strike there on the anti-air with the artillery piece and finish off the recon. Tabitella is having a little bit of trouble here. It does have a good number of artillery there to fence itself with. It does take out the knocks out the bomber, knocks out the artillery piece. So there's a healthy number of bombs there. At this point in time, she may need to pull out another fighter, maybe just more dusters. Cruisers could be a possibility. Try to lure the bomber on top of some open sea and bring in a cruiser. Zhao Teitong does end a turn of 190. Tabitha starts a turn of 138. There's a capture there. Bomber heading down south to stop this advance. Anti-air there. It does bring back the bomber to the temporary airport. Gunboat does drop off an infantry unit there. Duster does do a little bit of sweep there. Blair does fire up north. Tank does do a recon pass. Throws some rounds of the battlecopter. Does get a good strike there onto the artillery piece. Bomber charged way forward. Does not spot a cruiser and did risk it, but this time the risk was successful as there's no cruiser to retaliate, nor duster, nor fighter. Good strike there. Tank does a good strike on the unit. Artillery piece moves down south, rotating around a little bit there. Overall, Zhao Teitong is going to have an excellent force up here, to say the least. Anti-air pushing the center of the map, very nice. Fighter there, very nice. Here, finish off the battlecopter, get some good strikes up there. Battlecopter engage that. Bomber knocks out the artillery piece. Does not take out the bike there. Flare finish off that one unit. Duster finish off the battlecopter, trying to capture that property now. Battleship takes out the rest of that unit there. Taota's basically completely gone up north. She does have a decent amount of force on the, down south. But Zhao Teitong is at 225 versus 149. Good strike there onto the bomber. Blair's charge way forward. Anti-air is just trying to find some spots to ambush aircraft to go back in the center. Duster and infantry deployed in the field. Artillery gets a good strike there. Missile push right forward. Battleship's actually down to 1 ammo. Battlecopter hits battlecopter, gets spots the anti-air at the last of her wrong moment. We do now have a APC or rig deployed on the field. Could go for another seaport, temporary seaport, or go for another temporary airport. Fighter takes out that bomber. And the missile is in range. So that missile is going to immediately pay for itself. Takes out the fighter, giving much more air supremacy for Red. It'll bring in the protect this bomber and Duster. Duster has a lot of targets here. Blair gets a hit. And there goes the fighter to a missile. Good strike there onto the bomber. Of course, there's another anti-air there, which could be barrage if it gets spotted. Blair's actually out of ammo. There's also a missile down here as well. Does spot the anti-air there and does hit up the battleship and finish off with the bomber. Battlecopter infantry there. Good hits there on the command battleship, the flagship. Boosts the command medium tank. Good strike there on the Duster. Anti-air, another medium tank up there. If Talbot is able to squeeze out another Firestorm, that could be great. A third missile deployed on the field, which is not a really great idea at this moment in time. I think more Dusters would be a great alternative. Just try to hit the bomber, try to whittle them down slowly, rather go for expensive fighters. And also, I still think a cruiser would have been very useful. After all, this cruiser is actually at max veterancy, so it's got a decent amount of work done. A cruiser here would have been very useful to take out some of these units, plus with the sub there, which he may have not seen just yet. Takes out the Duster there. Goes for another fighter, more infantry. There's so many missiles in the field. A lot of good missile coverage. If I were to pause the game, this is the current missile coverage. Oh. Huh. You can see a decent amount of missile coverage on the map. This missile is now down to 2 ammo and max out veterancy, so it's gotten a lot of good work done. Cap is now down to 86, while Zhao Teitong's at 210. Blah. He has more than double the value on the field, and still his turns, he still has day-to-day as well. He has triple the value on the field now. Talbot now has 20 energy, but her command tank can get barraged by the battleship and by the artillery piece, who's also almost out of ammo. And Grain does go ahead and resign. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay tonight. I'm starting to get my allergies aggravated, so thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest.